Welcome to the Church of Thomas. These are excerpts from Awakenings in an Age of Angels, and this one is titled Weather. Jesus always seemed to know when the storms were coming. No one noticed that he always seemed to get inside from play barely minutes before a downpour. After a few years, everyone followed Jesus' lead unconsciously when they watched him instead of the sky. Jesus never said anything directly to Joseph. Instead, he would make a broad comment about moving lumber inside to finish curing, or, "My, don't those clouds look dark," after a series of drenched projects, only adding to the work or revarnishing, that Joseph started to heed the warnings. Jesus was 9 when this weather ability saved lives. When the time came, it just knew what to do. He knew because it was the right thing to do. The winter that Jesus was 9, there was a very bad storm, and the town started to flood. The streams just could not hold any more water. The ground was saturated by other winter storms and could not absorb another drop. The streets were running with muddy water. The fields lost half an inch of soil that winter from erosion. Some people lived in low-lying areas. They were the poor of the town. It was the only place that they could afford to rent. The rain had been steady for 5 days. The low areas had water that came up to the people's knees. The old, the sick, and the weak could not even walk in this water. The current was already very swift and sweeping grown men off of their feet. Jesus and Judas had tagged along with Joseph to the main street to help sandbag the synagogue. Jesus heard a conversation about people in the low areas just having to fend for themselves. He asked his dad to stop the rain so the poor could get out. That hour, the rain stopped in town. Every stream that led to town stopped swelling. They did not get another drop. The low areas' flood water receded because there was no new rain in the stream. In nearby areas, it continued to rain for 3 or more days. The storm was expended by then. The town was too busy saving household goods and food stocks to notice. A single hour more of rain would have drowned the poor as they tried to struggle out to higher ground. His dad was pleased that Jesus' compassion had saved these lives. Jesus was told that this ability of his was to be used wisely. The only rule was that the rain had to go somewhere. He was told to carefully consider who and where the rain would go instead. Jesus had to be considerate and, if possible, do good with the redirected storms. When Jesus was 11, he used his ability for personal reasons, but with compassion. There was a festival in town every summer. Mary looked forward to the event every year. It was a high spot in her year. This year, Jesus could feel a big storm forming. The festival might be canceled or worse, start only to be rained out. This would ruin many people's hard work in their crafts. He asked his dad where the rain was needed nearby. Maybe some area that farmed that had not had enough rain lately. His dad told him where it would be an answered prayer instead of a deluge. Jesus deflected the storm and no one was the wiser. Mary, as usual, had a great time. Jesus' dad and Holy Spirit were very proud of him.